Can you hear me and see me now? I'm guessing some of you got booted again, just like last week. There we go. There we go. Hey, guys. Looks like we're having internet troubles again this week. Not sure what's going on. It was just showing loading there. I don't know if there's something going on with the networks here. I don't know. My buddy Matt is not here to comment on the atmospheric conditions. But I notice that for the last several days, my cell phone barely works. I barely have any cell service. I'm just not sure what's going on. We were on the road all day today. My phone, my wife's phone just wasn't working. We could not even Google something. Just loading, hit search. And the internet's been poor here at the shop. The shop is running on Starlink, so satellite internet. The phones are running, I guess, still kind of basically like satellite type internet or data. So I'm not sure what's going on up there, but we're having trouble. Happy Friday to everyone. Nice to see all your names popping up here. Michael, Mark, Quinn, Kevin, Ryan is here, Andrew, Kevin. Very nice. Happy to see you guys. Hope you've had a great week. Mark, my friend. How is your lovely granddaughter doing? How is she doing with it, Mark? Oh, that is fantastic news. I guess with only 2 weeks yet of, like you said, intensive radiation, I guess it's too soon to really do second set of scans and see what's happening, to see any results going on. I'm guessing it's probably a bit too early for that. But in either case, I hope you have a wonderful lunch out with her today. That's just a beautiful thing. I was actually on the road today with my ladies. It's my second youngest's birthday this weekend. And so today looked like the best weather day. So we took the day and went off for the day for her birthday. and did all of the things that she wanted to do. So we took her out for her favorite food, what she wanted, and we got ice cream, and we went swimming at the pool, and we went to a petting zoo, and just all the things that she wanted to do and enjoy. We went to her favorite playground park, which has like a zip line in it. It was just a wonderful family day, and we got to celebrate her, and we got her a little badge that said birthday girl or something like that on it. So it was just special. She's turning four this weekend. Mr. Dangerous is here. Hey, buddy, I hope you're having a wonderful week. Ooh, sounds like an expensive one, Mark. Sophie, Mark's granddaughter, wants to head to Donut King first and then on to Japanese cuisine. That sounds nice. That sounds like a good time to me. Blue Dog sitting here with his grandson watching the stream. Welcome, my friend. And your grandson, welcome. Thanks for watching and hanging out. I don't intend this to be a long. Looks like I lost you guys. Do I have you back? Please confirm there. I seen that I was disconnected for a minute. Okay, good. Good. So I said I don't intend on this being a super long stream today. For one, we still having internet troubles, but for two, we were coming in the highway. We have to pass by the shop here to get home, and my wife dropped me at the shop so I could be here in time for the live stream. The truck happened to be here already. I blew a brake line this week. I picked it apart. My brother put it back together last night, I think. My dad finished it off today while I was gone, so I'll head home in the truck. Look at that. Everyone commenting on using their stuff. Gerald said he beat the heck out of the convex Tuckamore I built for him last weekend. He says it still cuts newspaper like new. That is that 01 for you. With a perfected heat treat. That is something special. And then Quinn says the boys all took turns lighting the fire with their bake apples and ferro rods during their trip. Oh, there's something special. And for young fellas, to be able to light a fire in such a, not totally primitive, but quite a primitive way compared to using, little mini torches or things like that, to be able to use a ferro rod and a knife, it's just so beautiful. It's very beautiful. Hey, buddy, I can pretty much run any grind besides a hollow, and that is because I've never invested in a huge radius contact wheel. So I've built plenty of convex knives, convex, SaberVex, Scandivex, full flat, medium flat, or Saber, standard Scandi grinds. But like I said, no hollow. I seen, hang on here. I'm just checking because the comments all kind of chunked in quick because of the disconnection. I seen a comment. Okay, painting the center console. Yes, that's the plan, but not this year. I also saw a question about, okay, Mr. Dangerous mentioned hitting the beach, fishing yesterday. Any more cod? A few last weekend, but fishing only opens here for the weekends in the summer. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'll be heading out probably tomorrow morning if the weather is okay enough. The website, I'm learning that the website should get revamped in some way. It should have more information. Several of you have brought this to my attention and keep bringing it up, that it should have more information. And I agree. It's only within the last year or two that I've really made the website any point of sale. Everything before that was always you just contacted me and I sold you a knife that I had posted online or that type of thing. So, but then I believe it was pretty well after I bought the shop, I really invested in the website and built a decent website, a good platform for shopping. This January, I changed up the page order and the construction, and now everything is categorized nicely on there. But I agree that it's still missing information. You really can't go on and deep dive about all the different patterns and steels. There is no place on my website to kind of geek out about the K&N Knives product. It's very minimal. And that would take a while to do that, but I think it's definitely worth doing. So I appreciate, Mr. Dangerous, you bringing that up again. I appreciate it. Keep putting it in front of me. Yeah. All the colors, selections, and options would be cool. I would love to do that, but it is so difficult. The way it has been within the last couple years, I don't know next week if I'm going to be able to offer a color. You know, I tried right here. I showed last week, and it's been a rough couple weeks on production and stuff on the website. But I showed these, I think, last week, and these are a couple beauties. First time working with orange curly maple. So I bought, I think, 4 or 5 blocks to try it. Let's give it a shot. And we worked with it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. But it's quite possible, and happens often, that I could say, wow, we love this material. Let's get a load of it. And I may go on, and there is none to find, except for somewhere in California for an outrageous price. But anything that was in Canada, anything from my suppliers is gone. Now they have new options. So now you've got to try again. Oh, maybe we'll like this purple color. And so it's hard to offer like a website option where you can click all your available colors. I just don't know how to make that happen. I don't know if you guys have some ideas. I can show tons of pictures, but the best I can offer usually is when someone contacts me and they're looking for a knife build, I say, let me know your style and your color preferences. So do you like blues? Do you like natural greens, browns, and that type of thing? And then once I get an idea of that, I can give options. So I can pick through and say, okay, I've got a bit of dark blue curly maple here. And I can check my suppliers and see, okay, I can get turquoise, no problem right now, but I can't get electric blue anymore. Gone. Maybe forevermore. Maybe it'll be there next week, but it's a tough situation. So Mr. Dangerous just said, just the stuff you can control. Yeah, like sheath colors are pretty much always within my control. Blade grinds, that type of thing. Rocco's here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Hope you had a good week. Oh, I see Chad Morgan is here. Jeff Rose, welcome to the stream. Brad King, Nathan, Andrew. Very nice to have all you guys here. If you go ahead and hit the like button, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. But I hope you've all had a great week, guys. Let's see here. Happy Friday. Rocco says, Kyle, you should offer ferro rod with belt sheaths. That would be a great option too. Do you think it should be on like a shopping page? So if you're going to go in to buy a Tuckamore, you have sheath color options and then ferro rod option, yes or no for a matching ferro rod. Would you do it like that, or would that only be a custom order sheet type of thing? I don't even think we could pull that off with every product listing on the site. It would be tough to build out for sure. Mr. Dangerous, from a loving customer perspective, I'll take it. I'll take it, sir. Do you think you fully understand me yet? As my father still shakes his head at me, and he's known me ever since the beginning. Michael says the mini tradesman is on the camping trip with him this weekend. Yeah, I would love a few pictures. Maybe I'll try to get them up on the Facebook page. Chad figures he has me figured out. Well, thanks for stopping in, Chad. We'll miss your presence here. You're good company here every week, buddy. But appreciate you stopping in to say hello. Chad, you getting out fishing the weekend? Beads. Oh, that's something else that I'd like to jump on. You know, just tell you a cool story. I had a guy stop in. Actually, I was in town here yesterday. We worked all yesterday morning. And then after lunch, my father had to go out of town. So I said, well, I won't jump right back into the knife work for the afternoon. I'll stay home and work on emails because I've got a backload of emails. Again, Mr. Dangerous, get on my case. You can get on my case. But I've got a backload of emails that I got to get back to you guys. Updates and custom quotes and things like this. Someone got a hold of me and said, someone is in town looking for you. I said, looking for me? As he said, yeah, they said they were at your shop. They came all the way from Quebec hoping to meet you. They said they drove a long ways to see Kyle from KN Knives. So I said, sheesh, well, I better head down to the shop and maybe we'll catch them. So I was at the shop here for a little bit. And I had a couple of things to do. That brake line was burst on the truck. So I was picking at that there. I got another call saying, listen, you got, I was just talking to these people. This is a call from another person. He said, I was talking to these people. They drove here from Quebec hoping to meet you. So I jumped on my Gmail. I said, did I miss an email from someone? Or am I forgetting that there's a meetup supposed to be happening? Or I could not remember. So anyways, I jumped in the van here and I took off down to the wharf. That's where I heard they were. There's a big public wharf right when you enter town. And I met this beautiful couple from Quebec. And here's the cool story. So as soon as he told me his name, because I had never met these people in person, as soon as he told me his name, I remembered him. And he actually bought a hatchet from me way back when I lived in St. John's, when I was still in university. When I was still in university doing my education degree, we never had any children. It was just me and my wife, and I was uploading YouTube content and a lot of axe restorations and stuff like that. And this gentleman from Quebec bought a hatchet from me. And this would be before I had any website, any products. I had never made a knife at this point, bought a hatchet. And he brought this hatchet with me, or with him, and showed me just yesterday. And they are some of the finest people I've met in my life. Just so sweet, so kind. We chatted. I took them around town. I never twisted their arm. I don't think I had to, but I showed them the campsite here in town. They had a beautiful Sprinter van, and they parked. They decided to stay the night. They're traveling across the island here. When the wind dropped out last night, I even managed to get them out in the boat for probably an hour. So the water dropped out like oil. We got some life jackets, got them on the boat, and I just took them for a tour. And the sun was dimming; it was getting dark, and we saw some eagles and some beautiful things. It was just really special. A pleasure to meet these people. And this summer is the first ever that I'm seeing, I'll say, tourists. I don't like to throw that around too much for people that come to see me. It feels maybe a little bit disrespectful or condescending. Maybe that's just my mind, but the first time getting tourists or people coming down to meet me and to tour the shop, and it's fun, and they've all been so excellent. He bought some products, some merch, hat and clothes, and a knife here. It was just fun to meet this guy and his little family there. Really, really fun. I'm glad I got to do that for them and to meet them. And like I said, if they're watching this or if they ever see this video, Steve, you're one of the finest fellows that I've met, and just a blast. This guy was funny, and we were just riffing and a few jokes told out on the water. It's great. And I've come to really appreciate the French Canadian accent. It's really, really beautiful. I like it. Let me just shoot up over the comments here. Let me shoot up over the comments. Tom Cook, absolutely shoot me an email. I'll get right back to you. I seen that I seen Eric posted there that you've got to have patience working with Kyle. I appreciate it, or I appreciate the patience, guys, and I apologize for the time I take sometimes. I've definitely gotten behind. I was really ripping and doing excellent until my wife went back to work and I lost half of my day. And then it's just been killing me since. It's been really, really hard. So I need to change some things up for sure. I need some tweaks in the system. But I really appreciate the kind words, guys. I really appreciate that. Chad, I appreciate that again, buddy. It is, it's definitely hard to keep on top of it all. And I'm the type of guy that I love what I do so much, I don't want to give anything up. And there are so many ideas always flying through my mind, and I have a lot of hobbies and things on the go, but they all just make life so fun. And they're aspects of my business that help me to connect to my clients. And it's just beautiful. I don't want to give any of it up. So maybe one day I'll figure out how to get it to all perfectly mesh. Mr. Dangerous, you're going to have to come here and hang out in the natural habitat someday when you're ready. Actually, Mr. Dangerous, oh yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head there, buddy. You're hitting the nail on the head. You gain the life of your children. I fully understand that. Sometimes it just feels like I'm dropping the ball for you guys, letting you guys down. And that, that is a very tough thing about running a business like I do, and always being kind of behind on the supply versus demand. Is that, when we went off this morning, we went off to celebrate my little girl's birthday. Like I said earlier in the stream, some of you guys came in late, you didn't catch it. We went off for the day to celebrate my little girl's birthday. And I was just fighting with, at different times throughout the day, this like guilt of thinking of these emails that I hadn't responded to, and a message request for tracking information. Someone didn't get their tracking information, and just some of these things popping on my phone. And I'm trying to, and this is not your guys' fault because you require service. That's what you paid for. And but it's difficult because it can really spoil the good times as well, or taint them, because you can't just, it makes it difficult to be in the moment, really in the moment. Scott Stapleton, welcome, my dear friend. I hope you've had a wonderful week at work and with family. Nice, always nice to see your name in the comments. Scott Stapleton has been a supporter and a friend for a long time. He bought, Scott, did you buy one from the very first batch of Bake Apples, or was it the first run of Islanders, which was almost right after, a pattern that's been discontinued? But from way back there, Scott's been a supporter. Mr. Dangerous, he says, if there's a B&B nearby, I bet folks would pay well for a 3-day knife workshop. That is, we were actually talking about that with this couple on the boat last night, because here in town, if it can happen, there was a hotel built several years ago, 3-4 years ago, maybe now. I don't quite remember. But it is a Seacan hotel, and it is a huge structure built right on the water here. A local businessman started the build, and that hotel has been almost complete for a couple years now. And I believe there's trouble with the last couple sign-offs or something on permits. And so this beautiful tourist attraction and hotel cannot open, or at least at this point, as far as I understand. And I took the boat right in there last night, and I was telling this story to my friends, the tourists that were visiting, and they were just in awe of the structure. And I said, we had planned, or the talks were that when this opens up, we might have some kind of joint venture. If people come here to town for the sake of meeting me, or if I'm bringing people here, I would try to send them to the hotel or whatever, or get them to enjoy the hotel for the night. Or this idea of the workshops, people come, stay there for a couple nights, maybe at a discounted rate or something, and have day-long workshops here at the shop. Evening workshops, a couple comes for a weekend, and they book in, a 2-hour knife sharpening class, 1-on-1, 1-on-5, or something like that here. Those ideas are floating around, and they would be fun. Right now, there's not an option to do that. Although everyone that's been coming so far has been coming, like there's been a number of people come through this summer, and they have had some nice rigs. I had a couple friends come from Ontario, and they had a beautiful Porsche 911, I believe, with a rooftop flip-up tent, and that thing was awesome. I had never seen anything like it. The town here was definitely just staring this car down. For one, you don't see Porsches out in rural Newfoundland very often, and this thing was really beautiful with the rooftop tent and everything. And then just last week, there was a few couples showed up together, and a few big overland vehicles, a Land Rover and a big Jeep with all decked out with the rooftop racks and the tents and stuff. My friends yesterday came in a big Sprinter van, a big Ram van. I don't know if it's the 25 or the 3500. The what do they call it? The Ram ProMaster, I think. Big van, all decked out with the little kitchen and everything. And so they just pulled up at one of the sites up here in the most beautiful view in the world. It was fun, but they've all been bringing their own rigs, which is cool. Oh, sorry, I missed your sign out there, Chad. Thanks for stopping in again. The personal relationship with a custom builder, that is definitely something that comes with it's part and parcel here. I appreciate you saying that, Rocco. It's that means a lot that you guys recognize that. What would you regret on your deathbed? Not getting my knife done or missing your daughter's birthday? When you figure out how to do it, all let me know. I'm sure some of you guys who have been along the way have some ideas figured out more than me, which is why, Mr. Dangerous, I know you've been busting my chops. You've been on my case, trying to spur me on to dial things in. I hope I don't regret too much on my deathbed. I hope not. 5 more children, Gerald. I can't. I just finished a 2.5-hour drive home. Made it home to do this live stream, and after that 2.5-hour drive, almost at bedtime with 4 little girls in the back, I don't think there'll be 5 more children. That was it was about at our limit there. Mr. Dangerous, you travel up and bring your van, buddy. It will be a trip of all trips. This couple that came yesterday, they did they've done quite a bit of traveling. Really awesome couple. They've done quite a bit of traveling, and they've traveled every province in Canada, and Newfoundland was their last. And they said last night, they said, hands down, this is the finest province that they've traveled. Out of all the provinces in Canada, they felt like Newfoundland was over the top, above and beyond the rest. I apologize for those of you watching from other parts, but they just could not believe, I think, the beauty. And it is like that here. You almost can't look a direction and not be wowed at what you're looking at. Just something else. And the amount of water that's everywhere, and there's something about water. We're drawn to water, aren't we? A bird and trout knife. I've actually got a discussion going for a bird and trout knife right now with a customer. So that might be an idea. I think he wanted the traditional Russell bird and trout or the Groman bird and trout, but slightly enlarged. Wanted to go with something a little bit bigger. So I'm about to finalize the design and drawing for one of those right now. So if you wanted to jump on that, Rocco, certainly can. We can have that discussion. Oh, Mr. Dangerous, you are welcome, sir. You are welcome. As long as it's the time of year when that boat is in the water, you know, that boat is an incredible thing. I've got a new video coming for you guys, maybe this weekend. But guys, it is better than I could have dreamed. I love this boat so much, and it's provided some great opportunities. I've gotten, like I said, several tourists out on the water so far this year. Mark, I'll jump to you. Thanks for stopping in. You enjoy your day, buddy, with your granddaughter. We've got a number of people praying for Mark's granddaughter. I am certainly praying for your granddaughter, Sophie, that she comes through this stronger than ever, better than ever. But I hope you have a wonderful day out with her, and that you spoil her and just have a bunch of fun. A bunch of fun. Rocco, maybe it was you that I'm having the conversation with about the bird and trout, but I don't think it is. I think there's someone else that I've gotten a little thread going with. But let's have that conversation. Brad, thanks for mentioning that you're praying for Sophie, Mark's granddaughter. But the boat has been a wonderful addition to our life. It's just been really fantastic and a way to connect with people. Really has been. Both out on the water with other boaters and people around, both with my girls. We're jumping out every chance we get. We'll probably get up early tomorrow morning and head out for a few fish. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, Kathleen. I'm excited. Someone asked earlier, I remember at the very start of the stream, if I was painting the console. And I am, but I have decided to leave it bare aluminum for the year. I'm running it for the season. The part of the problem, the main reason I've decided not to do it right now, or what brought that on, is I want to use my boat. And finish work takes a lot of time. So I said, sheesh, it'll take me another month or two to really clean everything, prep everything, paint it, make it look beautiful, and install. So I've decided I don't want to take all that time. I want my boat in the water to use. And then after that, sort of in the same thought, but kind of in sequence there, I said, you know what? I might come up with changes that I want to make. So if I do all the finish work and paint it and all this stuff, it's kind of too late then for modifications. I can't cut something out and change things. And so I'm running it as is for the year, and we'll see how that goes. And I can already see a couple changes, and I'll let you know what they are. For one, I want a couple handrails or handles or something on the roof, because I notice when I come in and I'm standing on the wharf, the roof, like I'm up above the boat, the roof is kind of at the height where I'm grabbing. So when I'm stepping down in the boat, I'm grabbing for the roof all the time, the ceiling, and there's no handle. It feels like there should be a natural handrail or something on the top of the profile of the roof for grabbing the boat, for hauling myself up out of the boat. And so that's something that I'm going to fab in when it comes out of the water this winter. The next thing, I did that front window on hinges, and I was going to do a strut setup, and so that would swing out and sit open, that type of thing. I've decided that I want to get rid of that whole system and fix mount the window, and then put in just some vents down under the window that I can open to let the breeze pass through. That would allow sound to go through, air to whip through the cab, because the idea was I wanted complete weather protection, so a sealed window, but then on real hot sunny days, I wanted that wide open so I could feel like I'm out in the open air. I'm noticing, at least so far this summer, it has not gotten close to warm enough that I've wanted the glass open. In fact, I'm huddling in behind the glass. So I'm thinking, why have all of that contraption there with the hinges? And I can see too already that's going to be a bit floppy. It's not going to be a good fixed setup. So I said, I don't know if I need that much air passing through and all the complexity of that hinge system with strut mounts and everything. What if I just fix mount it and just have some vents or grates or something that I can slide open? Maybe I'll have to build them, design them, or mill them myself, or maybe there's something I can buy and install. But yeah, those are the two changes I see so far. A pool noodle for my head. Yeah, let me tell you, that one strike, I have been super cautious. That's what it took. I'm glad that first hit was hard and not just a little bump. If it was just a little bump, it might not have got the message in, but it was a hard enough hit. It, shook me. And I am very cautious. When I'm coming around the boat, I'm squinting and making sure when I'm stepping up out of the boat, I'm making sure that I'm well clear of the roof line until I get used to it. Oh yeah, Rocco. If I never had my hat on, these mesh back hats, trucker style hats, have a very thick front on them. It's really heavy. That they're a structured hat, so they really hold their shape. You can see there. See that? And so that's kind of what sove me. It didn't break the skin, but it would have split me wide open if I didn't have that on, for sure. Scott, buddy, thanks for checking in, my friend. You have a wonderful weekend. I'll try to shoot you an email if I think about it, but you could sure shoot me one. The proportions are just right. I agree. I think the proportions are just perfect on the boat as they sit in the water. The size, the shape, the design. It doesn't look big and soggy. It doesn't look awkwardly small. And, I've been watching a bunch of boat content lately, late in the night and that type of thing, watching a little bit of content on YouTube online of different boats. And I just looking for different inspiration. And I'm more and more fortified in my design. Because everything I see, the console is either too big, and I say, well, if it's going to be that big, you might as well have a pilot houseboat and be inside. Because the console is 4 foot deep and you can barely see out over it. And then it goes from that to single person wide, and your bench seat is a couple people wide, and it offers no weather protection. So I have seen very few that offer what mine do, which I'm very, very excited about it. Yeah, Mr. Dangerous, I agree. I think I may fix mount the window, and I had planned to do. I've got the whole wiper motor and arm and everything all ready to go on there. And I said, well, a flip up window, that wiper will kind of lift up with it and just stay on the window, that type of thing. That was the hope, but I don't know if that would work good. And so I said, well, a fixed mounting, it solves that problem too, where the window's fixed mounted, the wipers are fixed mounted and just sitting there atop the windshield. And if I want a breeze, I can just slide open my vents and I've got the wind whistling through. Which on the Atlantic here, there's always wind whistling through. Last night, that couple here from Quebec had t-shirt, hoodie, vest, and a coat on. And then she was sitting in the bow and she had her hood pulled up and drawn tight. And it was still cold. And life jackets on top of that. And it was still cold out there. That is true, Rocco. That is true. Wing windows on the side is actually a great idea. Yeah, just like the old vehicles, so they flip open like almost like louvers so that they scoop wind in. That is a great idea. Little bit hard to do right as well. I think just a sliding grate, almost like a floor register in a house. You slide it open and all those vents just open, and let the wind whistle through. I think that's what I'm going to go with. But I appreciate your kind words tonight. I appreciate your encouragement. Let me show you. I can't show you some finished pieces. The power was off for a half day this week. We had trouble with the truck. I was out of town for a day. And so some of this work, this batch that should have been finished to show off to you guys tonight and to bring you joy, I apologize. It didn't happen. But I can show you what's in motion and about to be finished here. This is a sweet mini tradesman that Dad, he said, I think I'd like to do a custom look mini tradesman. So he just put these scales together. And this is moose antler, natural micarta. You can see these are just in their initial stages, but brass inlay there. And this is the first, what I would call like custom mini tradesman so far. We've built them to spec in terms of color. Someone wants a black one, we build a color, or a black one, that type of thing. But this is the first with like a multi-part kind of over-the-top handle design. And it's wearing moose antler. So very, very cool. You can see kind of how they get roughed in. This is one stage along the way. So after we glue them up, Dad will surface them on the platen so they're flat for dimension, and then they'll be ground just until you kiss the tang. So you can see there's little places still we're not right at the tang. And I will take them from here and do all of the handle work in. Rick Top. Rick Top is the fellow I was talking about earlier in this stream with the beautiful Porsche with the roof topper. Yeah, Ricky boy, we were talking about you earlier. I was talking about the few awesome people that I've made it here to visit and tour the shop and spend time in Middle Arm this summer. And I was talking about how everyone that's come so far had their own unique rig, their own unique vehicle, from Sprinter vans to overland Jeeps to sweet Porsches with rooftops tents. Very cool. I've got a couple gorgeous Warriors here in a purple curly maple, in a gray curly maple. These are two totally over-the-top Master Hunters. I haven't built a Master Hunter in a long time. And guys, this is production stuff amidst the custom builds that are always coming through. A bunch of custom builds were shipped out just this week. Rocco, very nice package on the way to you. I don't know if you got the tracking email or not, but a really sweet package went out to you this week. But these are a couple, like I said, over-the-top Master Hunters, just incredible pieces using fusion wood, both colors that I haven't used before. Completely blacked out fusion, and this is an orange epoxy fusion, both with, as you can see, mosaic pins. These are fullered and fully gleaming mirror polish. Can you imagine the black and the orange fusion? And these have sparkle metallic and stuff in them. They polish like glass. Can you imagine the look of those with full polished blades? You'll get to see them on next week's live stream. We'll finish them up and I'll put them aside here. Even if they're purchased tonight, they probably won't ship out that fast because we're doing leather work for them and they've got to be finished early next week, of course, as well. Rocco, good point. I had to put that one inside center. Actually, no, you haven't seen those light install yet. I did put that one because of the way I designed the run and the lights daisy chain together. I had to run right there across my dash. But what I said was it has to sit there kind of over, but I plan to put on like some really dark tint. So I get the faintest amount of light over my dash or over my head, but it's nothing to reflect. But I can see, because I've been out a couple nights now quite late and it's been dark, and it does cast against the window, definitely. Brad, I'm excited for that one too, buddy. Jared, welcome to the stream, bud. They are going to be some fine pieces. We've got some bake apples there as well, but some beautiful pieces to be finished up next week. New bolt video, knife restoration video teed up, some project builds coming here, just a lot of cool stuff in motion. And Jose, do you know if regular Buck 110s and 420s have all their internals in stainless steel? They would be stainless steel. Yeah. I've rebuilt enough and have been building them that are 40 and 50 years old and they have no rust. I tell you what you do get a little bit is you get like a galvanic corrosion or like an oxidation inside that brass. So you get sometimes this green buildup under the scales if they're really old. And that's just the way Buck does them because they're attached with they're just rivet attached, and so there isn't a back seal. Nothing can really stop liquid from soaking in behind. Now, when I do custom buck builds, they're epoxy attached. So that whole seam against the chassis is sealed, and you shouldn't have that same problem. But I'm going to sign off here, guys. This brother asking me about the truck here now, if everything's running good. I'm about to find out. Get this. Dad went. This is kind of a close call. I needed to haul my boat up. There we go. I needed to haul my boat up this week. I had to do a little edit to it. And so Dad took my truck and trailer and he backed down the ramp. I drove the boat on, and then I stayed in the boat, and he pulled me up to the top of the ramp, shoved it in park. I hopped out. He went to the passenger side. I jumped in, got behind the wheel, put my foot on the brake, right to the floor, dumped all the brake fluid right on the ground there, just like that. So it could have been a fun trip out the boat ramp right into the Atlantic there. A little bit too close for comfort. He said he would have cut it and wheeled it into the little wharf that's going out there. He says he would have did that before it ever got to the water. There would be no trouble. I'm not going to challenge him on it, but he says he could. He says he would have been just fine. And of course, better to do that and squat up a rear fender or bumper than submerge the truck. That would be the better option. Rocco, I do plan to get into some more in-depth knife builds. I got some great custom builds coming up soon, and I would like to get back to that. Although I do find it a little bit like when I'm doing those builds these days, I feel like I've got nothing left to say or very little left to say because I've showed a custom build so many times like that. And at this point for me now, the builds, although there are a lot of different elements, the way I approach each build is very much the same. The steel's handled the same. It goes into the same grinder that you've seen me stand into hundreds of times. I grind the bevels like you've seen me do hundreds of times. They're drilled, scales are prepped. It just, I feel like, how could I possibly put that in front of these guys again? It makes me tired editing it. So I'm like, these guys must be just sick of it. But there is definitely requests out there for it. So I'll have to give that a try. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for your well wishes for me and my family. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support and encouragement. A lot of you guys, I think, are a little further along the trail than me, and it's nice to hear your encouragement, support. And it's just great to talk to you guys every week. That's great, Rocco. I'll jump on that. And let's get that conversation started on the Burden trout knife. Also starting to draw up here a filleting knife, a fishing knife that will become a permanent piece. Charlie, hi to Charlie and Dave as well, who I haven't met. The hatchet, I don't think I could pull that off. We could talk about, I don't think I could pull that off. Or I don't think I'm interested in going that direction, as fun as it would be. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Nice chatting to you guys on email and Instagram and Facebook Messenger. For you guys that have come and toured the shop and met me and shopped here upstairs and stuff, truly a pleasure. It's wonderful. Wonderful. I love meeting you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you later.